Hello, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people and not so beautiful people, but no, I'm joking, you're always beautiful. Here is Simone Vincenzi, your host for another episode of Explode Your Coaching Business Show. Woo! And tonight we are going to talk about how can you write and you can get your book a #1 bestseller on Amazon. So if you're an author, a speaker, and you have a book, you know the importance of being a bestseller. This will give you status, will give you credibility, will give you more clients, and ultimately you can spread your message to more people and impact more people, which you can make a better world and a better place to live in, which is what we really want here at GTeX, right? Of course, this is what we want. So tonight I have the pleasure to introduce you guys, ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Keith Blackmore Noble. He's a 3-time international best-selling author, and he has developed a strong insight in what it takes to write, publish, and promote a bestseller. And he uses this to help other experts to boost their credibility by helping them to get into print easily, effortlessly, and effectively. Please, everyone, give Keith a massive round of applause.
Thank you. Hello. Good to be here. How's it going?
Great. After I see you, my day becomes always better. So now, I have a question. For those of you that don't know, me and speak every week because we are running our mastermind together now for about a year, right, Keith?
Yeah, just over a year. Mm-hmm.
Just over a year. So we are constantly in touch, helping and supporting each other, growing our businesses. So I asked a question to Keith before we started, and the question was, what is the weirdest thing you've done in your life which is legal? So Keith, expand a bit more on that, please.
Well, you did cut down most of them by specifying it had to be legal, but the weirdest legal thing I've done has to be almost getting trampled by an elephant in Sri Lanka.
Okay, tell me more about that. What were you doing under an elephant?
Well, almost under an elephant. Dear me. I was in Sri Lanka for a couple of weeks on holiday, and we were doing a tour around the island. And one of the places we visited was an elephant, the Pinwala Elephant Orphanage. Mm-hmm. Which is where they rescue and look after elephants, both ones that had been abused plus baby elephants. Yeah. And it's just beside a massive river, a huge river. And 2 or 3 times each day, they herd the elephants from the sanctuary down to the river because the elephants love playing in the river. And as they do this, there's lots of tourists there who stop there getting photos of the whole thing, because seeing elephants bathing isn't something you see every day. So we were all there. I found a nice little bit where I could sort of stand on what was sort of like a bit of a path with a big steep slope behind me, so I could lean back against it with so I could be taking lots of pictures with the camera, and I wasn't going to fall anywhere. Perfect spot. Taking photos, admiring the elephants. Wow, elephants, yay! And I felt this tap on my shoulder. Get off, because there's lots of people around who are always going, oh, give us money. Get off. He kept tapping and eventually started grabbing at my shoulder. I turned round to say, look, please desist from tapping and pulling at my shoulder, just in time to see this enormous elephant coming towards me. The elephant was there, the water was there, the path to the water was what I happened to be standing on, and the elephant was just going for the water. It didn't matter that there was a puny human standing there. I have never scrambled up a 6-foot bank so quickly in all my life.
Man, that's something to tell. Wow, I didn't know that, and I'm glad I asked you this question. So now, from being under an elephant to become a 3 times best-selling author, wow, that's a bit of a journey from the front. So first of all, what made you started in becoming a best-selling author? What got you to write your first book? And then we are going to go into how actually do you become a best-selling author? How do you rank as a best-selling author, #1 on Amazon? But first of all, what got you into writing those books?
Cool. Well, the very first book that I was in, which I've got here, woohoo! Yay! Oh, look, it's me. Oh. Don't laugh. That was a book that was organised by a lady who basically got a whole load of people together, including Deepak Chopra. My first book I co-wrote with Deepak Chopra. Woohoo! Impressive, huh? And basically, what she did was she interviewed loads of people, and we each had 3 pages in which to get our story and our message across. And I thought, hey, a chance to be in a book. Who wouldn't like to be in a book? And it's going to be with Deepak, and I can get the copies of the book with me on the cover. Yes, I got to sign up for this. Not really thinking what I was going to use it for, but it became a bestseller. And after on the back of that, I was thinking, okay, so I'm in a book. There's not really that much I can use this book for because there's 80 people in there. I've only got 3 pages now. I mean, I know you, Simone, 3 pages isn't enough for you to say hello, let alone get your message across. What can you do with 3 pages? Not a lot. But I was thinking, there's got to be something in here to creating a book. And I was meeting up with a whole group of colleagues who are also learning and becoming coaches in cementing their expertise as speakers in different areas. And we got onto the topic of books, and we sort of thought, wouldn't it be great if we all got together, wrote a book together, and published the book together? So we're all in a book. We've got a book. We kind of spread the risk, spread the work across the dozen or so of us. Wouldn't that make sense? I thought, yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense.
So instead of that's the first one. Like instead of writing a book by yourself, you co-authored a book with other people.
Yeah, so
which was the first,
which was the second one, which was the Winning in Life and Work, Volume 1. So the very first book that I was in, which somebody else did, and they interviewed a whole bunch of people and published the transcripts of those interviews as a book. So there's a lot of inspiring stuff in there, and it's great for the readers, less so for the people who are in the book, because there's so many people in there. The readers get a lot of inspiration from it, but they don't really remember who said what. So it doesn't help the author's profile. So we thought, let's write our own book. We'll do a chapter each. There were about 10 or 11 of us. Let's do a chapter each. So we can devote a reasonable amount of time and space to our particular topics. Which was a great idea. It meant we could use it to cement our expert status, and that's what a book's about, right? It's getting your message out there to a wider public, cementing your expert status and boosting your credentials. Because if you're speaking to 2 people, both say they're an expert on a topic, one has got a best-selling book, the other hasn't, who's the one who's perceived as the expert? The one with the book.
Of course. So
we thought, hey, let's do that. I thought, yeah, this is going to be great. Waited. Nobody was taking the project on. Nothing was ever happening. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to be in this book. I want this book to happen. Even if I'm the only one who writes it, this book is going to happen. So I took the lead, chased them on. Eventually, I got 10 other people to go, oh, okay, somebody's running it. Fine, I'll write a chapter now. Oh, okay. So you all wanted to be in the book. You didn't want the hassle of organizing it and publishing it. Having then gone through that, I can understand why. Yeah,
exactly. And also, when we are talking about writing a book, I mean, I wrote 3 books. Is a lot of work.
It is, yes.
You got to publish it. You got to do the editing. You got to find a nice cover. You got to find a design, and is a lot of work. So I can agree with you when people are saying, "Oh, I actually don't want to get myself into this."
Yeah. So I got them all to submit their chapters. I then went through all the process of, as you say, getting the cover design, getting all the proofing, editing it, collating it all, finding somewhere to print it, launching it, marketing it. Learned a whole load through doing that. At the start of it, I thought, oh, this will be easy. At the end of it, I went, if I'd known it was going to be that, I probably wouldn't have done this. There's a lot involved. Writing the book, that's just one aspect. That's just one part of it. So anyway, we got the book out. It became an international bestseller. Yay! I decided never again. I'm never doing this ever again. It's like herding cats, getting multiple different authors to come together. About a year or so later, I thought, you know what? It was actually quite good fun. I'm going to do it again. So I did it again, got a whole load of new experts together, and we created another book, Winning in Life and Work, New Beginnings. Hooray! Which again became a bestseller. And again, it was what I was doing was using all of the stuff I'd learned from the previous, from doing the previous book, helping people. So this time I was getting together people who perhaps didn't even know how they were going to go about writing their chapter, let alone creating a book, taking them through, here's how you create a chapter. Because it's one thing just to sit down and go, right, I'm going to sit down and just write a whole lot of stuff, bam, out it goes. You can do that, but it's not going to work for you as a book, because people are going to look at it and go, well, that was rubbish. When you've got a book, whether you've got one chapter in a book, and that's what I'm doing with the third one that I'm bringing people together again now. Again, you're taking all of those lessons to help coach them to create the best chapter they can. But whether you're creating a single chapter or whether you're creating an entire book, this is perhaps your only opportunity to connect with new people. This is your calling card. This is where people can judge you, and they can go, okay, well, I've read Simone's chapter. Actually, I like what he's got to say there. It makes sense. I got a lot of stuff out of it. He wasn't trying to sell me stuff. He was giving me lots of useful things. I've followed some of his tips, and you know what? It worked. I got some changes. I'm going to contact Simone. He's the guy who can help me. So that's what you want with the book. It's
value, and when you're giving value, then people want to contact you more. So now the question that I have for you is, what does it take? Because that's why people are here tonight. What does it take to write a best-selling book? Like, if you have to divide in a few steps, I want to write a bestseller. You've been featuring 3 of them, and 2 of them done completely by yourself, with pulling out different authors. And what does it take? So I want to become a best-selling author on Amazon. What do I need to think about?
Right. There's two aspects to it. The first is creating the content for the book. I'd say there actually are three aspects to it: create the content, create the book, and then launching and marketing the book. So those are the 3 key steps that you need to master, all 3 of them. Yep. So taking them in turn, creating the content that's going to go in the book. A pitfall I've seen so many self-publishers fall into is they use the book as a sales tool. Now, yes, it's a marketing tool, but you don't use the book as a sales pitch.
Okay.
I've seen.
Why?
Well, if you just spent £10 to buy my book, and basically the whole of my book is saying, hey, I'm really great, I can help you with this problem, come and buy my training, come and buy my services, what are you going to think?
That
it's going to put you off. Yeah.
You're a bit of a prick.
Why? Thank you.
No, not you. Not you. Like, you're amazing.
But the problem is, so many people think, oh, I've got a book, I've got to use this to sell. And yes, you do use the book as a marketing tool, but you don't sell in the book. What you do, whether it's a chapter or whether it's a whole book or whatever, this is your chance to connect with the audience. The first, you've got a few things that you need to do with your content. You're going to be able to connect with the audience, so the audience can relate to you. They can get to like you or respect you or trust you, whatever your approach is. Bear in mind, there are some coaches who I remember one coach who's training us. And throughout the whole training, he said, you know, it's not my purpose here to be liked by you. I don't care if you hate me, as long as we get the results that you want. Wow. And if it's going to be a choice between pushing you and getting the result or easing off so that you like me, I'm going to push for the results. Would that be okay? Of course, that's what you're there for. So with a book, sometimes with books, sometimes it's you want the audience to like you. Sometimes it doesn't matter whether they like you or not as they're going through the book. do they get the results? Because when they get the results, then they're going to go, oh, you know, I really wanted to smack that guy at one point, but he was right, and it works.
Yeah,
I've got something out of this. I'm glad he kept pushing.
You want to have the right balance between selling, like promoting yourself or promoting your course, and then the other part is actually giving genuine value. Now we have a question. Let's take the first question. Let's unlock the seat, and let's take the first question that we have from New Breed Group. So New Breed, if you can come and join us here. And the question is, will creating online courses can be helpful as well? So if you want to ask to come in and join us and ask the question, so Keith can we're talking about online courses. So can creating online courses being helpful for becoming a #1 best-selling on Amazon?
Are you joining us, New Breed?
New Breed, if you want to join us, please feel free. In the meanwhile,
come hop on. Let's have a chat.
Let's have a chat. Come on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't mind Simone. He's not that scary.
Whatever. Okay, right. No, so answer the question.
Yeah. So would creating online courses be helpful as well? So I'm assuming that you mean would creating online courses that go along with the book, would that be a useful strategy? The answer, absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt, because again, you're giving value. There's one person I know very recently launched his book, and he created an online workbook that goes with it. So he's got his book that takes you all the way through the topic, and he's got an online workbook he created, which is effectively it's an online course because he added loads of video. Sorry?
That's Steve Woody?
Yeah, it's Steve. It's Steve Woody. His book all about Plan Your Website, which is a fantastic book teaching you how to plan your website. And you go through the book, you work through the book, it's awesome. And he also created, effectively, it's an online course. He calls it an online workbook. He's got a lot of videos. He's broken each chapter up into the steps, takes you through them, and he has places on there where you can record your answers, record the detail that you've done, and then at the end of it, click a button, boom, out comes a printout, which is effectively everything you need to design your website. And that is a good selling point for his book. It's not just a book, you've also got the online training material. Yes, it takes a lot more effort to create that material, and as a result, the person reading the book gets a lot more value out of it, so that when they're ready for the next step, which in his case, his next step is now you've designed your website, actually building it, they're going to go, Steve, help me. You got me through all of this. I know you're going to give me a lot of value.
The online course can really work as a strategy after, after you become a #1 best-selling, or because people buy the book and they can have an online course. So the more people buy the book, the more people go through the online course, which means the more time you spend with the prospect client that is interested in the material, the more likely is that they're going to buy from you. So I guess that's where I'm seeing really this kind of strategy fitting in. Now, the question that we are talking about is what else can people do to become a #1 best-selling author on Amazon? How does it work? So we talked about the balance between selling and marketing yourself and actually delivering the great value. So you want to have a balance between them. What else?
Great. So you've got to have the right balance. You've also got to make sure that the content of your book is directly answering a problem or a need that your prospective client has. Give them some concrete steps, some definite actions they can take, which will start taking them down the path. What you want to avoid is letting them think, oh, okay, I know all I need to know now, that's it. Because obviously they don't, because you can't condense everything into that one book. So there's always more. But if they get that book, they read the book and think, oh, okay, I know everything I need to know about this now. I can do everything I need to do about it. Not only are they not going to come and work with you, you're also doing them a massive disservice, because as a result of them getting premature closure, they now think that's as far as I can go with this, which is not the case. So make sure you give plenty of value, but make sure they know This is step 1 of 5 steps, for example. So you would outline in the front. There are five key steps to achieving X. There we go, 5 key steps to achieving X. If we talked about all 5 of them, this would be an encyclopedia, not a book. We're going to go into great detail on step 1. Steps 2, 3, 4, and 5 are blah, 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 blah. Here's step 1. Go through it at the end. So that was step 1. Your next step is step 2. Then you've got 3, 4, and 5. Hey, look, if you want to find out more, get in touch. Let's see if we can get you through those other steps. So you're giving people lots of action. They go through step 1. Fantastic. I've got what I needed. Okay, I see what I've got to do next. And you know what? I trust this person. They've got me good results. I'm gonna take that next step with them. So when you're writing, whether it's a chapter or a whole book, those are the key things to bear in mind.
I guess
in terms of the content.
Of like kind of a teaser, we have also Tony, which is joining us with a question. Hello, Tony. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, guys?
Hey, Tony.
How's it going? You right, Keith?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks.
Yep,
Yourself?
good, thank you. Very good. Great, Blab. Excellent timing. I'm just in the process of launching my first book. So I only popped on Blab. I'm going to be doing my own shortly. And I saw this. I thought I must jump in real quick. I know you guys are dropping some real gems. My question is about pricing strategy during launch week. So obviously, I've kind of got my recommended retail price for the book. But I know there's a few strategies you can do with pricing to get the maximum impact during launch week. So what are your suggestions with that?
Great question. We were going to be going on to cover this. We may as well cover it now. Why not, as it's been raised? Question for you. Is this book in physical paperback, or is it in ebook, or is it in both?
Yeah, so I'm going through CreateSpace for the physical paperback and obviously Kindle for the ebook.
Kindle, yeah. Okay, so you do. So you're doing the whole lot through Amazon.
That's right,
CreateSpace is Amazon's print on demand. Awesome. For launch, so with the Kindle, with your ebook, are you planning to have the ebook available through other forms as well? For example, Barnes and Noble's Nook, or through Apple's iBooks, or even through PDFs that people can buy from your website?
At the moment, my focus at the moment is just getting it onto Amazon. Obviously, my main strategy is to have the physical paper book as, like you talked about earlier, that kind of that marketing piece, or that business card. That's my main aim. I want to get as much reach as possible with the book. So initially it's going to go paperback, obviously through CreateSpace and Kindle. Whatever other platforms are available, we'll explore those. I'm working with a coach at the moment who's kind of they're more clued up about the whole formatting and preparation for different platforms than I am. So I'm hoping they'll get it onto all those platforms.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. The reason I was asking is there's a very good strategy you can use, which will certainly help you to really make a splash during the launch of the book. And that's all around using it in Kindle only for the ebook to start with. That's when you use Amazon's KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, you can enroll your book in KDP Select.
Okay.
Now, it's enrolled in there for a period of 3 months. During that time, it must not be available in ebook format from anybody else, which is why I was asking. At the end of that 3 months, you could either re-enroll it or just leave it on Kindle as normal, and then you can add it to the others. With Kindle Select, there's a couple of reasons for doing that. One is you get 70% royalties instead of 35% royalties, which is nice.
Regardless of the price.
The second. Regardless of the price, pretty much regardless of the price points, yes. Now, but the really important reason is with Kindle Select, they allow you to have 1 week where you can actually put the book at 0 cost, so you can make the Kindle book available for free for 1 week. So that can be one continuous week, or you could do it a couple of days here, a couple of days there, throughout the three months, however you want to do it. They also have now got this thing whereby over the course of a week, you start the book at, say, 10 cents, then the next day it's 50 cents, then it's $1 or £1, so it ramps up. Those are both really great ways of getting large influx of people buying the book, getting the book at the start, which is, A, what it takes to get into bestseller.
Yeah.
You need a lot of people buying at one time, or you need to be J.K. Rowling. Either works. And the other advantage of having a lot of people getting at the start.
J.K. Rowling.
Sorry?
I choose the easy one, becoming J.K. Rowling. I need to go my
Fair enough.
I need to go my. Sorry,
Can we switch him off?
You.
So it's a great way of getting it up into the bestseller lists, and by getting a lot of people getting it at launch, you can ask them to leave reviews, which means you get lots of reviews, and when you get a lot of reviews, that Amazon then see that book as being more popular, which means in turn, have you seen that thing? People who looked at this book also looked at these. You like this book, you might like these. They use lots of different rankings, but one of the rankings they use is if a book has got lots of good reviews, then it's much more likely to be recommended. Okay. So I would certainly look to do your initial launch on Kindle in KDP Select. Now you've got a choice. You can either do it for free, in which case you're going to sell loads and loads of copies because people love freebies. Yeah. You're very likely to hit the bestseller if you choose make sure you choose your categories correctly.
Yeah. I'm going through that process at the moment, so we're looking at the most appropriate category. Interesting.
It can be.
What's your book about, Tony?
It's called Standard Procedure: How to Systemize Your Business, Reduce Your Workload, and Increase Your Productivity and Profitability.
You have a client. I gotta get it.
Yeah. Well, if you've read the E-Myth, you'll like this book. So basically, the E-Myth kind of tells. I
actually was talking to Michael Gerber this afternoon. Today.
Yeah.
Oh, you name dropper.
Yeah. Well, obviously that book kind of it told me why I should systemize my business. Yeah. With this one, I'm going into depth on how. So it's literally step by step. How to systemize your business, what you should systemize. And the process of creating systems and processes, right from conceptualizing a system, creating your blueprint, putting it all together, testing the system, right the way through to refining it and improving it. So that's the focus.
Fantastic.
All the best. Please send me the link on Twitter when you have it ready.
Yeah, I will. I'll follow you. Well, I'm launching on the 4th of April. And it's really exciting. I'm about to go and do a blab now just to talk about it and raise a bit of awareness. That's why I jumped on here.
Fabulous. So Tony, I hope that awesome. Keith was able to answer your question.
Yeah, very useful. A lot to think about. I appreciate that.
Yeah, one more thing to say.
Yeah. Well, one very quick thing. So you've got a choice of either doing it for free or doing it on a start at a very low cost and progressively rise up. When you do it free, you're going to sell more copies. That's just the way it is. You're going to sell more copies. It's more likely to hit in your bestseller, but it will hit as a bestseller in the free category.
Yeah.
When you do it on the rising price one, you'll sell fewer books, but if you do hit the bestseller categories, you'll hit it as a paid book. Yeah. So that's just something to bear in mind. It's down to purely down to personal preference.
I was my mentor suggested to me that I don't do it for free because it reduces people's perception of the book. If they see it as just a free ebook, they put it in that category of those sort of cheap free books that people download, leave on their hard drive, and never really read. And I've got a few of them myself. There's a few that you sort of grab them because they're free. They're on your hard drive, and you never really look at it. There's other books that I've paid, $2.99 for, $4.99 for, and I've read them because I've paid for them. They haven't been great, but I've read them because I've paid for them.
But you've read
them. And I think that sometimes it's just about what is the size that you want. Because, for example, I know that I got a lot of people that before putting it paid, they put it free to get the bestseller status, and then there's
the coverage, and then you change.
But when they put it paid, so they can already put this has been a bestseller,
and then start getting
that increases the sales. That I think that's also one of the strategies that you told me, Keith, that when we had the first interview.
Yeah, and that's what you'd use the free week on Kindle Select for, is get lots of copies out there, get your bestseller status if that's what you're after, get lots of reviews, really generate a lot of noise about the book, spread the news far and wide amongst everyone. Hey, grab this book for free. So you get lots of people grabbing it. It then gets Amazon's attention. So at the end of the week, when it goes back to full price again, to your normal price, it's a book that's sold, so people will pay for it. but it's already had a lot of interest, which gives it that kickstart.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Guys,
Hope that helps.
Thank you very much, Tony, for.
I'm definitely interested in your book as well, by the way.
Well, I followed
Seriously,
you both,
so
I followed you all, so yeah, hopefully we'll connect again.
awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony.
Good luck, Tony.
All right. So we have another question.
Ooh.
We have a social sales link. Do you want to pop in and ask another question to the one and the only Keith? If you have a free Kindle, will that help the physical book? $1 million question.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, how are you? How can I?
Well,
Is that Brian?
it's Bryn like Lynn.
Bryn.
Hi, Bryn. How you
I am
doing?
well, thanks. I actually, fortunately, have a best-selling Amazon book that it did very well, and I really used some tips like yourself talking about now. One of the things that I did is I had like 80 people buy the book at the same hour, like we paid for it, like everybody got our credit card. They actually got gift, like we did gift cards to everybody, all our people, and so they all bought it. We invested in that at 1 a.m. the day that we got bestseller. I took a screenshot, never made it up again, right? So that was it. But I could say, yay, Amazon bestseller. I sell like 20 a month because I'm. But what I want to know, I mean, I would love for this to really be a consistently great seller. Like, why not, right? I do not have a Kindle right now because it's a workbook. I think it's probably simple to get it up to Kindle, but I haven't done that. What is the benefit? Like, if I did Kindle, I have like a 18,000 person email list. So if I got that out to everybody I could probably get 1,000 people of those people to get it for free on Kindle. What will that do for my physical book? That was a really long question. I'm sorry.
That's a great question.
It's a great question.
I do a free Kindle. What that can help? How that can help is the one, the paid one.
Right.
Yeah. Great question. It's exactly the sort of question people should be asking. Thank you. Next. So by giving the book away free on Kindle, I'm assuming you're talking about the Kindle Select thing that we were just talking about with Tony. So for up to a week, it's available for free. What that does is it generates exposure, exposure for your book, gets more publicity for the book, makes the book appear more desirable because lots more people have got it, which means it does boost it in some of Amazon's ranks, so that for the physical book, there's now been a little bit more buzz about it. It won't necessarily directly boost sales of the physical book, but you can use this as a means to increase awareness about the book. If you do it and you announce to everyone, hey, this book is going to be free. You don't have to do it for the full week. You could simply say, this book is going to be free on Monday of next week. It's going to be free. Grab it on Kindle for free. In exchange, I would love it if you would give us a good review.
Are you allowed to
give us
say
a review
that?
on
You
Amazon.
can say that.
I wouldn't say give us a good review because that's.
If you love it,
hey,
review it.
Yeah, exactly. Grab the book, and you know what? I'm certain you're going to love it. And if you do love it, hey, please leave us a review on Amazon. That's really going to help us. And as a thank you, the Kindle's for free. That way, your book suddenly potentially gets lots and lots and lots of good reviews, which means when people see the physical book,
Will those reviews
it has a price.
physical book too? The reviews will cross over?
Yes, because as far as Amazon's concerned, it's the same book. It's just available in Kindle or paperback.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
We got Breen excited.
Yeah, I know that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then they
So
are
that way-
verified reviews.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got genuine verified reviews, which when you direct people to see the physical book, they go, wow, 100 people all gave this 4 or 5 stars. That's got to be worth it.
That's worth a lot.
Couple of things to bear in mind. One, there's no guarantee people will give you reviews. So be completely open when you mail your 18,000 people. Say, hey, special gift for you. This book is available for free on this day. I would love it if you download the book for free. It's my gift to you. And in exchange, if you like the book, which you will, could you give us a review on Amazon? That's going to help us out as well. And that's what it's all about, us helping each other, right? So that way you're engaging them. A lot of people won't give a review. So if you get 1,000 people downloading the book, don't expect 1,000 reviews, but you will get, you have to ask people for reviews, but you will get.
There is something I've seen. I've seen actually people doing, if you leave me a review and send me a screenshot of the review, I'll send you this gift worth this amount of money.
So my book comes with a 79-minute webinar, the gift that comes with the book. Maybe I should take that out of the Kindle piece. And then
strategy, and then you give it as a thank you.
If
someone leaves a comment.
The other thing is they have to log into the webinar, which is why I do it. So I can capture the people that buy the book.
You get the details.
So I can then just ask the people that now watch the webinar. But this is all good. Like, you've really opened my eyes to the Kindle, because I've been just not. And people say, "Do you have it in Kindle?" Nope. But maybe I should.
And we have Kevin saying, bribe them and bribe them again. Yes, Kevin.
I would be careful with that, because I do know Amazon go through phases of being careful about reviews, and if they perceive that the review is has been influenced by you, they could remove the review. So I haven't heard lately of people who've said, give us a review, screenshot it, and I'll give you something. I haven't heard of those people being hammered, but I have heard of people who've had their whole reviews removed because Amazon have gone, hang on, all those reviews are from your friends, so we don't think those are unbiased reviews. We'll remove them. So use your best judgment. I personally wouldn't give a gift in exchange for a review, but there's nothing to stop you saying, hey, here's the book for free. If you like it, please give us a review. And when you get people when you get people's emails for the webinar, say, here's the webinar. Oh, and by the way, did you like the book? If you liked it, did you leave us a review?
Yeah, that I think that's
absolutely
and I can actually automate that. Then as soon as they download it, you can automate an email.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it can that can be done. Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you answer your question, Brie?
That was great. Thanks. I'll let somebody else take the seat.
Can
I put a link to my book in here?
Yeah, come on, do that. Of course. Go and download Brie's book. Let's help him become a bestseller, like increase the sales. Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? If you want to ask a question, Kevin, if you want to pop in, ask any question, or we have Tony saying Gary V has been doing some great marketing for his new book. Rue, that's Gary V is doing some awesome job. I remember I was at a seminar one day, and the people that were there at the seminar, they were selling a book. From where I was, the strategy that they did say, if you buy the book, what you can do is read the book, and then it was a 3-day seminar. So on the first day, say, if you buy the book today, you have up until the third day to give us a review. And if you give us a screenshot of the review that you have given us, a genuine review of the part that you have liked so far, then we are going to give you another book for free. So you had two at the price of one. Or I think you had 3 books for the review, because that's what they wanted, is really to boost the comments and to have a lot of people buying it at the same time. And I think that at the seminar, we were about 600 people, something like that. So they had about maybe 300 to 400 people buying the book, maybe 200 people leaving the comment, and it was like, boom. So that's another thing.
And when you get lots of comments, again, as I say, Amazon look upon the book more favorably, and it starts to become a book that they put in that you might also like this book. So
and also
getting lots of comments is a great marketing strategy.
And also, Kevin is saying something which is really, really valid, which is you can keep asking and asking, or you end up annoying people. So, Keith, the question for you is where can we put the balance in there based on what Kevin said there?
This is in terms of asking people to leave reviews, I assume.
Leave a review, asking people to download it.
Yeah.
Where do you see the balance before?
Yeah. So with reviews, if you're giving the book away free, as we were just talking about a couple of moments ago, I would ask them, in that case, I would ask them a couple of times. One, when you offer the book, say, hey, this book is available for free on this day, grab it. And you know what, we'd love it if you could give a review as well. That would be really sweet. And then when in that particular case, they give their name and email address so they can get access to a webinar. As part of the email, thanking them and welcoming them to the webinar access, just once more in there, say, hey, great, thanks for getting the book. Hope you enjoyed it. Did you remember to leave a review? Here's the webinar details. And I wouldn't ask them again, because you're absolutely right. If you keep asking people, they're going to go, oh, you want a review? Right, 1 star. And that's not what you want. So a couple of times, that's fine. As long as you keep it light and just then that's fine.
Did you give me a review? Did you damn review? Come on, give me the That's how you should. Okay, Artie, do you have any question for Keith or any other question that have been going in the comments? We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Artie. Okay, let's see if you can log in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, now we can hear you. Go for it.
Okay, cool. The question is, what would you think of a site like BookBub? I have
a site like
BookBub.
BookBub.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not aware of that particular site. I do know there are a lot of sites that. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of sites which authors and readers can both join. Goodreads is certainly one I'm aware of. I'm assuming BookBub is a similar sort of thing, where they store details of books. You read the books, you review the books. Authors also have their own pages on there, so you can enter dialogues with the authors. So I'm assuming BookBub is a similar sort of thing, because there are a number of different ones of those around.
It says here it's a promotional site.
A promotional site. I'm just going to see if I can very quickly find it. What's it called again?
BookBub.
BookBub.
UB.
I'm just going to very quickly see if let's have a quick look at this.
They said you pay something like $500 to have some 100 books sell it. That's what it said.
Okay, so yeah, it's basically they do lots of ebook deals, so you can get free books or very low cost ebooks. I have heard of a few sites like that. Some of them charge you a lot of money to get your book on there. Some of them don't. They make their revenue from other ways. Yes, they can certainly be very good ways of giving a boost to sales of your book. Most of them will run on their time frame, their time scale, not your time scale. So if you wanted to use it to promote your book at a book launch, that can get a lot trickier. But there's certainly a great way if you decide, you know what, let's get more coverage of our book. Put it through here. You'll get a spike in coverage, generate some more sales, increase awareness of it, get reviews. So yeah, they can be useful. Just be aware of how much, if anything, it's going to cost you to do it, and what control there is over the timing of it. If you can influence the timing of it, then you can base your campaign around that timing, which for a launch campaign can be a very good way of getting access to a much wider launch audience. So it's certainly worth checking out. Just bear those in mind.
Oh. Yeah, it's awesome so much. I'm loving this, man.
Hey.
Okay. How can I? What's your name?
I'm Fabiano.
Fabiano. Hi, Fabiano. Where are you from?
Paris.
Hey, Fabiano.
Paris.
Yeah, you see the Eiffel Tower right here.
That's awesome. Hi, Eiffel Tower.
Oh yeah.
So, Fabiano, come on.
That means I could see your house when I was up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
What's your question, Fabiano?
No, it's about the BookBub website, because I've I've made a lot of research about websites that would promote my book, and a lot of these websites, they charge a lot of money for that, and I'm not really ready to pay like $500 to have my book promoted without any guarantee. So it's why I'm asking you, what do you think about the websites like that?
Yeah. As I say, I haven't used that particular one. I'm aware of those sorts of books, those sorts of sites. I have so far not chosen to use any during any of the launch campaigns that I've done, because, as you say, it is a lot of money. $500. I didn't realize it was that much. That's a lot of money, and I suspect for most people, I suspect you're not really going to see a return on much, if any, of a return on that investment. I think $500 you could probably invest more wisely in more specific targeted marketing for your particular book launch. So if that's the sort of price, I would probably avoid them. I've certainly not used any of those sorts of services for book launches, precisely because I've always found better use for our funds.
I'm really avoiding.
Level.
But
so
the problem is, I think it's too hard to find a way to promote the book. I found some free websites to promote the book, but it wasn't that great. So I'm still stuck on myself.
Yeah, sure. A great way for promoting the books, particularly during a launch, is make as much use as you can of joint ventures. That's the key. Now, a joint venture might be it might go something like this. Hey, Simone, I've got this fantastic new book that's launching in a couple of weeks. Winning in Life and Work Success Secrets. Fantastic book. At the launch, I want to get as many people buying it as possible. In order to do that, I want to give them a whole bunch of freebies as well. Now, I know you've got some fantastic content from GTeX. Have you got something that's maybe worth maybe $97 or $197 that you would be prepared to give away free to people who buy this book during the launch in exchange for their email? So basically, they'll buy the book, they'll go to a page, they'll get your details, they'll put their email address in, and they'll get that free gift. So they get that free gift. You get their details. And would you be prepared to market this, to send this out to your list? Do that with a dozen people. All of a sudden, you've got $2,000 or $3,000 worth of good gifts to give away. Costs you nothing. You've got a dozen people advertising your book to their lists. What's in it for them? They've got, suppose each one sends it to 10,000 people, and you've got 12 people doing that. That means for each so Simone sends it to his 10,000 people. His free gift is going out to 120,000 people potentially. So he's got the potential of getting another 110,000 people interested in finding out more about him. So that's why he's more than happy to give me the $200 free gift to give away to everybody.
I know why you're doing that. It actually is true. So actually, I'm sending the link later of that.
Now, with this, bear in mind, a lot of people, or some people, are going to receive a lot of these JV requests, and they're just going to go, "What's in it for me?" With the greatest respect, never heard of you. Sorry, I'm not interested. So you're going to, as with everything, you have to cultivate the contact. Find the people who are looking for people who are going to be the people buying your book. So you're going to have to do some groundwork, some networking.
Well, it's quite easy though, the way you say, but it's not that easy to find a Simone to do that for me, you know.
All my god, we have actually great point. Sorry, I thought just to do that. It was fun, but I have a great point on from Kevin, and Kevin said also there is a little point in there, which is if you do that with third party, you need to give them an opt-out option at the point of sale.
Absolutely. So the way I would do it is I'd say to them, right, buy this book, then go to this web page. You have some way of getting them to prove they bought the book, and this page has got all of the different offers. So for Simone's one, it would simply talk about his one, and then it would go straight to his lead page. So I have not given Simone anybody's details. They go to his lead page and go, you know what? Yeah, I'm interested. So they would sign up for on his lead page. He needs to have the opt out, which everyone should have on their lead generation pages. So so you as the book author are not getting people's details and passing them to the others. What you're doing is you're giving people who buy the book access to this website if they get it during the launch, which lists all of the offers and how to get the offers, and basically they go to the people's landing pages. It's fairly standard practice. Some of the really big names use exactly that approach as well. You're right. It can be difficult to find people to mail out. So that's where networking comes in. That's where just finding out who are the sorts of people who are going to have the kind of people that I want to access, and then start going out and finding them. Now, you may find someone with
we want also Kevin that as a question. Fabiano, do you have any other? Is that answering your question about other sides that publish your book and other different strategies? You happy with that? Hello?
Yeah? Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Fabiano.
Well,
are you happy with the answer?
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I thought you were talking to someone else. I'm really sorry.
You created a very good suspense. I love that.
I was waiting someone else to answer that.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Fabiano. And
well, thank you, guys.
And see you next time. And if you have any other question, please write it up. Now, guys, please follow us here on Blab, me, Artie, and Keith. And also, we would really appreciate if you give us some whoop whoop. So just like tap the screen like you don't care, basically. Like, I would really, I love that. Thank you. Oh, you're awesome, guys. Okay, now let's get Kevin in. Kevin, jump in because we have a question from the one and the only, the super sexy beast, Kevin Harrow, which is asking, what's your launch process for physical and virtual books? Oh, you can't call in, Kevin. No.
Oh. We can answer Kevin's question anyway. Yeah. Brilliant. Great question. Part of what we've just been talking about is forms the launch process. So what I do generally do, it's called a compression, or some people call it a compression campaign, and it's all around getting as many people as possible to get the book during a small window, so that sales of the book spike, which pushes you up into the into the bestseller. It also is your opportunity to get lots of reviews, which is what's going to sustain your book in the long run. Somebody's put a question there about the foot book experiment, which exactly we're going to come on to I'd love to discuss in just a couple of moments after Kevin's one. I was hoping someone would come up with that. So it's compression campaign, get as many people in to buy the book as you possibly can. How can you do that? Discount the price of the book, which is where KDP Select comes in really well, because you can either do it for free for a few days, or you can do it on their sliding scale. It starts off at this price and rises over the course of a few days to the full price, to encourage people to get it at the cheaper price at the start, so they get it within that short window. The way to get lots of people buying it is to drive as many people there as possible. How do you get as many people as possible? JVs. Look for JV partners who can offer free gifts in exchange for people opting into their to their opt-in pages. So you have a page full of all these freebies which people can get when they buy your book during that launch window. So those JVs provide the gifts. They also mail it out to their lists. Sign up as many of these JVs as you possibly can. It takes a lot of work. You've got to do a lot of connecting with people to find people who are willing to work with you to do this. However, there are a lot of people out there who will do this because if they see that your book is targeting the sorts of people that they would like to access, then they're going to be very interested in providing a freebie in exchange for somebody signing up to their product, and they're going to be happy to mail out to their people because they know that you're getting together 10, 20, 30 JV partners who are all also going to be mailing out to their people. So their opt-in gift is going to be offered to a wide range of people, wide number of people who are the people buying your book. And if they believe that the people buying your book are part of their target audience, they're absolutely going to want to JV with you on that. On the other hand, if the sorts of people buying your book are not in their target audience, then they're not going to want to JV with you. So do a bit of research with the people that you're approaching. But that's the basis of the process that I've used for our 2 best-selling launches, and it's the one I'm going to be using for Winning in Life and Work Success Secrets when that comes up in
awesome. So
later
we
on.
have, I want just to give a shout out to at Sure Revolution. So she's writing her first book, and she is a bit dyslexic, but write it, like keep it going. Like when I wrote this one, I had my challenge to write and publish a book in a month, and I'm Italian. My grammar is. Let's not talk about my written English. Please don't read the document. People that are on my mailing list, they know that, and they got to understand that poor guy, he doesn't know how to spell hi. So, which is quite difficult. But and I had a teacher that when you give I had a friend, and she's a teacher, and I gave her the book to proofread. And she was full of red marks everywhere, like a red. She was excited. When you give a teacher, they love their red marks. So anyway, so keep going. We have one more question from Debs, Sure Revolution, and then we are going to wrap up. Hello, Debs.
Hello. Hiya. From the UK. Hiya. Hello. In the love. Hiya. Hello. Yorkshire, UK. So Italy, Simone, Keith, Scotland, and Artie, whereabouts are you from?
London.
Oh, another UK one. How crazy is live streaming? It's amazing. This is how you launch a book. Please, people, will you help me? I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what's happening, but everybody wants to help, and I'm just loving it. It's a global community. And I'm loving how people are saying to me, what's your book about? That's always a question that everyone asks, right? And I just want to say, let's call it a vehicle to drive change. Now, if any of the content helps change your life, fantastic. But what if the comments that you wrote actually change somebody else's life? So that's all I'm going to tell you. It's crazy. It's weird and crazy.
What is the question that you have for Keith?
I'm basically saying, I'm speaking to a couple of publishers. I'm wanting to maybe, because I'm eco-friendly as well, about trying to get it done maybe on recycled paper as opposed to normal paper. And the cost is more expensive, so the profit margins will be less. So I won't be able to drive more change in the world because the money gives back into some crazy way. So what's your thoughts on releasing the book, even if it is with normal paper, but at least we judge the price of them, unless you know any cheap, publishers that can do it, and planting trees in return.
Yeah. Oh, I like that last bit. I do like that last bit. So for every X number of books sold, you'll plant a tree. Great idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. The other thing is I would very seriously look at launching it through on ebooks as well.
Keith, I might have to speak to you one-on-one. I don't think that's highly possible. I'll tell you why later, off air.
Okay, sure. Okay, I get that. So if you can't do ebooks, there are very, very few places that do books on recycled paper at the moment, which is a shame.
Just don't make it easy for you. I'm connected with you all.
Can I jump in there?
Yeah, Kosh can.
I want to publish a journal as well. And I looked into eco-friendly publishers, and I actually found one. I don't know if the profit margin is going to be any good for you.
Okay.
But I've followed you on Twitter, and I'll get the link for you. I'll get the company name, and I'll send it to you.
But do you know what I want to do in front of the book? I'll actually say that. I'll say, look, I really wanted to make it eco-friendly, not chopping the trees down to actually get the books out there, because it's a vehicle for change. That's what it is. It's kind of crazy. I've just decided to do it in a book format, even though I'm dyslexic. But I think I want to be mindful over, the trees and everything like that. So if I have to plant trees, then you try and balance it up, but I'll say that in the book why I did it, and I'll tell people about the cost and the profit margins over what I'd weigh it, and then tell the world about it, why it wasn't easy to do it. So maybe in the future it might change. They might make it more eco-friendly to save something. Maybe the government should sponsor us to not chop trees down because it isn't just the trees, is it?
Give a shout to David.
It's a natural habitat.
Say, hey, David.
I'll tell you what, Simone.
I'm publishing a book.
David,
can you plant a couple of trees for me?
David's not ready for me yet, but I'm thinking about the habitat, the animals, the eco, just the whole thing. It's not just a tree; it's much more than that.
I understand that. I mean, for example, I'm personally vegan and all that, eco-friendly and all that. And sometimes either there are I found person running a business, and I think that Keith can confirm that there are some compromises to be made on that. It really depends what is where is the way that you want to go, and what is the best medium to go about that.
Yeah.
So
great going forward, guys, because I'm planning to launch it in the summer and do a summit in the UK as well at the same time. So.
So Debs, let us know. I got to wrap up right now because we're already running over time. So thank you very much for popping in.
Bye, darling. Bye, thank you.
I look forward to hearing more about your book. Now, Keith, yes.
Simone, sorry, 30 seconds, just because I know you're about to wrap up. I noticed there was a question from Annie Alexander. Did you read the Foot book experiment? 30 seconds to cover that. Yes, I have. That was somebody who decided they were going to game the system to see if they could get a #1 bestseller. What they did was they created an ebook which was just a photo of their foot, and they got lots of people to get the book for free during the same time period, and they put it in a very, very obscure category, which meant sales went so it did hit the bestseller list very briefly, and from that they said this shows that the bestsellers are meaningless. What I would say on that is, yeah, absolutely, you could do that and get a bestseller, and then as soon as you attempt to use that book as your marketing tool to say to people, hey, this is why you should, this is why I'm the one to work with, this is why I should be the one coming to speak to your people, this is why my trainings are the ones that work well, and they see your book, your best-selling book is just a photo of the foot, you're out. So remember, getting a bestseller is not just to be bestseller in and of itself, it's because that helps your book, which is part of your marketing strategy. So if your book is absolute rubbish, the message you're giving to everybody in the world is, hey, I'm absolutely rubbish, come and work with me, and it's going to shoot you in the foot.
We have Kevin that is saying, if you got 2 feet, you are a bestseller twice. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for coming. You always put joy and love in my heart. Okay, guys, Keith has been incredible. Like, I love all the information that you were giving. I think has been one of our best interviews that we've ever done. We just got to get you here back because apparently a lot of people want to know about this. So I know you have a great, exciting project which is upcoming, which is the 3rd edition of Winning a Life and Work, right? Can you tell us a bit more about that, and how if someone wants to become a bestseller can be involved with you?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. So, as I mentioned, we've done the 2 books so far, Winning in Life and Work, Volume 1, and New Beginnings. I'm now recruiting people for Winning in Life and Work Success Secrets. The idea behind it is there'll be about 10 to 15 authors in the book. I've got quite a few signed up already. Obviously, I'm having a chapter in there. If I'm going through all the hassle of creating this, too right, I'm having a chapter in there. I've got an Olympic athlete is contributing a chapter to the book as well. That's going to be a fantastic chapter. The idea behind the book is each person gets to write 6,000 words, which is 20 pages. So that's, which for people who do public speaking, that's equivalent to about a 1 to 1.5 hour keynote speech. So it's enough time to introduce your topic, connect with the reader, delve in, get them useful bits of information, give them some useful stuff they can do, and then help them find out more. The overall theme is success secrets. It's sharing the secrets of success, and that's success, whatever it means to you. So we've got different people covering different aspects. Now, one of the questions people say is, oh, but what if we've got 12 people covering completely different things? Does that not make a disjointed book? Not at all. The beauty of it is some of the chapters are going to relate to you directly, and that's fantastic. Many of the chapters won't be covering your specific situation, but the authors are still telling a story. They're telling a story about what's happened to them or what's happened to people that they know, the adversity, how they got through it. And we all love stories. Well, I say we all, most people love stories. One should never generalize. Most people love stories. And the great thing with a story is it works very well as a metaphor. So you're reading this story, you think, oh, wow, Simone faced all of that, got through all of that. That's fantastic. Your unconscious is reading the messages behind it, going, oh, I wonder if I could do something like that with my situation. That's a thought. So subconsciously, you're starting to pick some of these bits up. So even if it's not directly relevant to you, reading all of these different stories with lots of practical tips, useful information really does help you, because a lot of times when we face a problem, the answer works cross-contextually anyway. So that's, in a nutshell, the book. So I'm currently I've got several authors. I've got 6 authors already. Another 2 I'm speaking to tomorrow. So potentially 8 authors. I'm looking to get between 10 and 15. There are 4 different levels that you can enroll at. I take you through webinars where we talk about various aspects, like how do you choose what topic to write about? How do you create your draft chapter? How do you turn that into a polished chapter? How do you use the book as a marketing tool? How can you get media coverage? We cover those things depending on the level.
And this is what I love about that, is that it not only give the platform for someone to become a bestseller and really kickstart and give a good kick to their business and their credibility, but also is looking at actually how do you write a good quality content? How do you write a good quality chapter?
Yes.
That is not only about the status of a bestseller, but actually when someone reads that, like, wow, you're an awesome writer.
Exactly. It's how to really get your best voice across there, your best message across. And there have been some people, authors in previous books, they came in going, oh, I don't know if I could write a whole chapter. By the end of it, they're gone, I love this so much, I'm writing my own book. And I know 2 people at the moment who are writing their own books as a result of doing this. So that's the project. It would be great if people wanted to join in. May I give a link where they can find out?
Yes, of course, definitely.
Good, because I'm going to anyway. The link to go to is winninginlifeandwork.com/GTeX, GTeX. So winninginlifeandwork.com.
We are put the link just under
GTeX.
Winning in
life and
work.com/GTeX. Is that this one? winninginlifeandwork.com/G. Exactly.
That's the one, yeah. So go there, that'll give you all the information about it. And if you've got any questions, I'd love to have a chat. It'd be great to have some of you.
Yeah, and that's awesome, because like Keith is one of the really few people that I recommend, because like, you know, sometimes in this industry you have a lot of people that really told, but actually there is nothing behind that. But what I love about Keith, by knowing him for the past, how long have you been knowing each other? You spoke at one of our first events, I think 3 years ago.
Yeah, I spoke at one of your early GTeX events.
Instead of
when you were out
having
at the
big,
farm,
fancy,
I used to run them.
expensive venues and hotels, we had a scrappy farms with pig running around, right? Like,
yeah.
Tuxedo,
Oh, that was good fun.
As you do. So,
Yeah.
me and Keith have been friends for a long time. And guys, if you're really interested in becoming a best-selling author, and you don't want to write a full book, or you don't want to go through the hassle of I wanted to market and to find the people and to get the cover, you get all done by Keith. So make sure you get in touch. There is the link, winninginlifeandwork.com/GTeX. I have one more question for you, Keith. Keith, what is your sweetest memory as a child? Like, as a child, what is like your
What?
You know, when you're a child, that you have like your sweet memories. I don't know if someone asked you this question yet, but I just felt to ask you.
What is my sweetest memory as a child? That is a really interesting one. I think it would probably be, I would have been about 3 or 4 years old, I think.
Memory.
Yeah, three and a half years old. Thank you. Well, I know that because it was just after my sister was born, and I'm 3 years older than her. And it was in that summer, and we lived in a farmhouse. So we were surrounded by farmland out in the countryside. It's beautiful, and it was a warm summer, and I had a paddling pool, and I used to play in that paddling pool. And so fields surround everywhere with sheep and cows, and yeah, that's a really nice memory. I've not thought about that for a long time. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Why did I ask this question? I don't know. I just felt to ask it. There is no, just because I can, and I'm the host. So, right, guys, thank you very much, Keith, for staying with us tonight. It's been an incredible value. Thank you, Artie, for being with us and like managing everything in the background. You are awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing the blog post you're going to write with your magic hands about it. Like, Artie is an amazing blogger, so you got to go to Artie's blog. What is your blog, Artie? If you can give your blog out.
My blog's on my website. The website is www.bodynminds.com. I'll put it in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm writing it there. That's Artie's website, so you can check out their blogs. And again, if you want to write a book, want to become a best-selling author, here's the man. He did it 3 times. He did it with Deepak Chopra and without Deepak Chopra. So it's not just talking about a name, just talking about someone. And everyone who has been listening here so far, thank you very much for joining another episode of Explode Your Coaching Business Show. This is the place where we help coaches, speakers, trainers to grow their businesses, live their purpose, and make an impact in the world. Looking at what really works and what doesn't right now in the speaking, coaching, and training market. That's the place to be. We are live on Blab here every Thursday from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I know we have a bit of a run, but Kit is so good. Like, we couldn't stop. So if you're listening to this on podcast, make sure you leave us a comment, subscribe on the podcast, and download it. Let us know what you think. Keith, again, thank you very much. You're awesome. Everyone, guys, have an amazing night. Ciao.